empowering non-speakers worldwide with communication, regulation, and education. I will request Achutanal Guha to co-chair the session.
So this is a international session. हम लोगों ने लास्ट ईयर से परिवार में कुछ नए इनिशिएटिव लिए थे. लास्ट ईयर भी न्यूयॉर्क के साथ में हम लोगों ने एक लाइव प्रोग्राम किया था. कोच और मेंटर थे न्यूयॉर्क से, उनके साथ में लाइव हुआ था. And today is the second such occurrence. जब जी जो है यूएस स्पेशली इसी एमपीएम के लिए आई हैं, तो एक बार जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करेंगे उनका. तो यूएस से आए हैं और यहाँ पर हम लोग देखेंगे, अपनी स्टोरी में बताएंगे कि नॉन स्पीकर जो है वो कम्युनिकेट कैसे कर सकते हैं. हम लोग कई बार बोलते हैं कि नहीं कर सकते, तो नहीं का नाम तो कहीं नहीं है. अब कैसे कर सकते हैं वो उनके ऊपर ही है, वो आप देखिएगा जरूर. और हाँ, थोड़ा सा टाइम की पाबंदी है, इस वजह से हम लोग Q&A जो है वो नहीं ले रहे हैं. वो आप इंटरमीडिएट सेशंस के अंदर में आप कर सकते हैं बात. सभी स्पीकर जो है पूरे 2 दिन अवेलेबल है यहाँ पर. तो आप बीच में जब भी टाइम मिलता है तो आप उनसे बात कर सकते हैं, वन ऑन वन बात कीजिए.
Yeah, I was playing.
Hello.
Mike.
Hi, my name is Ginny, and I am Elizabeth's mother. We are just so honored to be here today. And we're going to play Elizabeth's presentation for you. It's about 33 minutes, okay? And then Elizabeth will answer your questions. She'll type out live for you to answer your questions. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Bonker, Executive Director of Communication for All, a nonprofit on the mission to ensure all non-speakers with autism have access to communication and education. I am excited to be back in India and honored to speak with you today about empowering non-speakers with communication, regulation, and education. We are talking about saving lives, and that is not hyperbole. Typing saved my friend Katie's life. You will hear his story, and directly from other typers who live happy, productive lives because they can communicate their thoughts and feelings. You are hearing a computer speak my words because I type to communicate. During my talk, when I say non-speakers, I include people who have minimal speech and those who may repeat words and phrases. And when I say typing, I include pointing to letters on a letterboard and pressing them on a keyboard. Please come with me on a journey into my world, and I will share with you how I gained access to communication and education, and the work we are doing at Communication for All to remove the obstacles that deny more than 99% of non-speakers these same human rights. There are tens of millions of adults and children who are depending on us to end the profound isolation they experience every day. You may have heard about my mission from my 2022 valedictorian commencement address from Rollins College. For me, I have a dream. Yes, just like Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream. Communication for all. There are 31 million non-speakers with autism in the world who are locked in the silent cage. My life will be dedicated to relieving them from suffering in silence and to giving them voices to choose their own way. That speech has 4 billion media impressions worldwide, and it propelled our mission for communication equality onto a global stage. Communication for All is part of a growing global community of respected partners. We are blessed to be working with non-speaking advocates and their families in India, including the All-Inclusive Foundation. Here is a short clip from the trailer of a beautiful film they inspired. A trick in the world of silence. We try to convey our thoughts consciously. Can you hear us? Living in an uncooperative body. Our lips are dying. Our hearts are calling for help. Can you hear us? If you got halfway, you hear unlocking fingers. Speech is only one mode of communication, not a measure of intelligence. Arithmetic tablet lets his thoughts flow freely. Each message a reminder that his disability does not divide him. His thoughts do. They communicate, they connect, they thrive. Each of them strives to live a fulfilled life, breaking the barriers of silence. Every word, every gesture, every smile, David Kulkarni says, using different modes of communication, my fingers make me proud of myself. Like darkness is erased with the glimpse of light. Akini Saminarayan says, voicing our opinion, making choices, and more importantly, communicating them is key to finding myself. I found my identity. It's not all back. He is defined by his differences, but by his talents as a musician and a writer. I love the doors of our world. Bring in the light of communication. Bring in the moment of understanding. Give us a means to communicate. Give us a life of dignity. You can hear our innermost thoughts. Then you can understand our enormous courage. Then you can recognize that we are just like you. Our tongues are kind, but our fingers can't. Are you listening? Are you listening? Our mission is to help all non-speakers have talking fingers. Our partner, the International Association for Spelling, as communications founder Elizabeth Vossler explains how we have come to understand non-speaking autism. Traditionally looking at it, we had a cognitive approach first, that it was an intellectual disability in people with autism. Then it sort of switched into, well, there's a behavioral component to it, and there's avoidance or lack of motivation or lack of caring to do well, so we have to appeal at the behavioral level. But it's not an issue of I don't understand. It's not an issue of I don't want to. It's an issue of I can't make my body do it. So that's why a lot of these guys are not getting credit for being as smart as they are. My body's not my friend. Elizabeth Bosseler often ends her talks with the observation that language is 100% cognitive and speech is 100% motor. Science calls it dyspraxia, a brain-body disconnect. This typer expressed it as, "My body is not my friend." Dyspraxia and autism is well established in the scientific literature. This 2020 Simons Foundation Spark study estimated 87% of people with autism have difficulty with planned motor movements. That is why non-speakers need to be taught to type. Communication for All is working to break down the structural barriers that keep non-speakers without a means to communicate. Schools routinely give non-speaking students a so-called talker device, which is a tablet with a picture exchange communication system on it. These pictures are words that are selected for the child and represent basic needs, and not effective communication. We support using one of these devices for very young children, but every student age 5 and above should be given the opportunity to learn to type. Non-speakers have a lot more to say, and we need all 26 letters to do so. We are working to reach non-speakers in schools and homes around the world. But before we go there, I would like you to better understand what it feels like to live in a silent cage. I did speak. I was born perfectly healthy. I met all my developmental milestones and said words like ball and dog. Then at 15 months, all of my words were suddenly taken from me, and I started to scream and bang my head on the floor. My parents took me to Yale Medical School, and the doctors gave them the news and little hope for the future. I started an intensive biomedical and educational program, but I still had no way of expressing even my most basic needs. At times, my frustration boiled over into self-injury. Yes, I started to hit myself. Quite an uncomfortable subject, but I want to dispel the myth that equates self-injury with intellectual disability. I struck myself because I was a thinking and feeling person locked in a silent cage. For more than a decade, I have worked to change the way the world sees non-speakers with autism. First, writing poetry for my book in 2011, and more recently writing song lyrics for an album. I believe music opens the heart so the head can listen, so I will be sprinkling a few clips of my songs into this talk. The civil rights movement showed how the power of music can unite us in a common cause. Here is a clip from a song where I reflect on the time before I could communicate, to try to give a voice to those who are still voiceless. The Bleeding Hearts wrote and performed the music, and legendary guitarist. 60 Minutes. A courageous Indian woman named Soma Mukhopadhyay in Austin, Texas, had taught her own non-speaking son to communicate by pointing to letters. We were on the next flight. I was 5 years old. With my new ability to type, I was able to skip kindergarten and enter first grade. Here is a short segment from a PBS show about my journey.
Because she can communicate, Elizabeth, accompanied by Terry, also attends a mainstream public schools where she excels, especially
18 and 24. Good girl. Know the answer?
their teachers marvel at her performance and persistence.
Patience and I can't even begin to explain to you that I probably learned more from her than I have from anybody in life so far. Being mainstream was not easy. These are the teachers who made it work. My first grade teacher, pictured on the right, saw how I didn't want to type at times, and she said, "I think she is bored," and nominated me for the enrichment program. Middle school was a black hole. With changing classes, my teachers didn't have a chance to get to know me. On top of that, I was exposed to a virus that compromised my immune system. Following middle school, I was accepted into the honors program at my local public high school, and due to health issues, I attended school by robot. Think of Zoom on wheels. The robot was in the classroom, and I was at home with my communication partner participating in the class. We moved to Florida in the summer before my junior year, so my brother Charles, who also has autism and can speak, could attend Rollins College, and I needed to transfer to a new high school. After finding no local private or public school that could wrap its head around a non-speaker taking college-level physics, I enrolled in Laurel Springs Academy, an online high school. After all, in an online school, everybody is a typer. Before we continue, I have something personal I would like to share with you. I am not special. Of course, my parents think I'm special, but please don't think my ability to type is special. Non-speakers around the world are showing us how capable they are. And to back up my claim, I would like to introduce you to some others who type to communicate. Meet Dan. He learned to type when he was 12 years old, and recently the New York Metropolitan Museum of Art made a video about his breakthrough based on the script he wrote.
Once I learned to speak, learning new discoveries before then. Before then, because my autism doesn't allow me to speak, except by computer voice synthesizer, I couldn't even tell my parents that I made the most important discovery of my life here at the Met.
What was Dan desperate to tell his parents when he first learned to type?
Get me out of special ed.
Sorry, special ed, we appreciate you, but you are wrong for most of us. Dan graduated with honors from Harvard University Extension School. Meet on Chill. He started to type at 19 and graduated from an all-typer high school in Tampa, Florida. In the fall, he will attend Rollins College. What does On Chill want you to know?
Not speaking does not equal non-thinking.
And now, one more student. Alex was 25 years old. He learned to type. Do you know what he is desperate to tell you?
It's never too late.
Yes, Alex, it's never too late to teach a non-speaking person to type. And now I would like to share with you what Communication for All is doing to make universal typing a reality for non-speakers with 3 strategic initiatives. C4A Academy uses technology to reach non-speakers around the world. In 2023, Communication for All launched C4A Academy, a program of internet-based instructional videos to teach typing to non-speakers anywhere, free of charge. In every case, it would be preferable to have a live expert providing the coaching and training, but we know that it's not financially and logistically possible for everyone today. The Academy is focused on families without access to private lessons. C4A Academy now includes 22 instructional videos, case studies, written lessons, a Facebook group, more than 800 members, resources, and support. At the beginning of this year, we began to offer cardboard stencil sets, so families have access to all the tools they need to get started. Our first case study follows Leon's journey. Here is the trailer for his story. Meet Leon, a 6-year-old non-speaker who goes from not being able to sit still in a chair to typing his own thoughts in 6 months. See how Leon is coached to put a pencil in the large stencil letters and transitions to using his finger on a 26-letter board. You can see how he made this progress in his case study, now available on the Communication for All website. Teach your non-speaker to type with our free C4A Academy lessons. Parents, you can give your child a voice with C4A Academy. Leon and his family are from Kolkata and currently live in the US. They are the reason we are here today. We have become close friends as they have shared their journey for all to learn from, and we greatly appreciate their introducing us to the leaders of this conference. Our second strategic initiative is Regulation for All. I believe most non-speakers suffer dysregulation so severe that their bodies are constantly in fight or flight mode, making us feel like we are being chased by a Bengal tiger. Dysregulation makes it difficult for us to learn to type. I gave a presentation about my case study at the Medical Academy of Pediatric Special Needs Conference. For 2 years, I worked with a scientist who analyzed my heart rate variability while doing natural interventions to get out of fight or flight mode. That is what I want for all non-speakers. You can watch the entire presentation on our website. To achieve this goal, Communication for All has partnered with cognitive science professor, Dr. Elizabeth Torres, who leads the Sensory Motor Integration Lab at Rutgers University. We recruited 50 non-speakers for an HRV study to establish a foundation for regulation for all. Our ultimate goal is to have an app based on HRV data that will glow red for fight or flight, green for safety, and yellow in between. When red or yellow, the app will suggest possible interventions to improve regulation. Better regulation means better typing and better quality of life. Our third strategic initiative is C4A schools. We are piloting typing programs with innovative public and private schools. Our partners train the school staff to teach their non-speaking students how to type. During our last visit to India, we met with 5 schools and several groups of families that are eager to use the academy to teach their non-speaking students how to type. We are excited to meet with schools and organizations serving students with disabilities in Kolkata. C4A schools create beacons in the educational community that light the way for every school to teach non-speaking students how to type. In the US, colleges including Harvard, UCLA, Rollins, Columbia, Vanderbilt, and UC Berkeley are leading the way for the inclusion of non-speakers who type. Here you see a news clip about 2 typers, Hari Srinivasan and David Tepes, graduating from Berkeley with honors. The biggest barriers we face today are not in colleges. They are in primary and secondary schools that almost universally deny us access to typing and mainstream education. Our 3 strategic initiatives empower families and schools to give non-speakers a voice. You may recall seeing Dan earlier in my presentation. Here, he shares his insights about the very beginning of his communication journey.
I am 12 years old. I think of it as the best day of my life, but here's how it started. Chair when I expected. However, a remarkable teacher sees my resistance and striving eventually, and my operator gives up and spreads over to me. That's me sitting on my mother's lap, swinging my head up. Now look what happens. I asked to answer a question. and more slowly. Soma did not rush to console me as anyone else in my world would have, but she also did not ignore my distress. She addressed it. And instead of telling me that I was okay, she asked me a question about my experience. She didn't say what's the matter because answering that would have been beyond me. Remember, I couldn't speak. Instead, she made two plausible guesses about what was bothering me, that I was in a new place or that I didn't want to work, and she gave me a choice. Very respectfully, she said, it can be both, but which is more important? She assumed that I could make a judgment about which of two things was more important. No one, in all my history of special ed, had asked me to compare two ideas. Then she put answering the question within my physical ability by going up to me and holding the two pieces of paper far enough apart so I had to make a real choice and could answer with a very crude flap of my hand. And notice that I stopped crying when I am considering and answering the question. Now, taking the answer I chose, Soma proceeds to show me how to spell it. We are spelling new place, and if you look very carefully, you can see that by the time I get to the A-C-E in place, I am already scanning for the letters. There is something else going on too. Soma and I are in a power struggle over whether or not I will sit down. She keeps trying, and I keep refusing. So she uses that as the basis for the next question she is going to ask me. And then we spell standing. To make it easier to spell, Soma is using boards with letter holes so big that it takes 3 of them to hold the whole alphabet. Half an hour later, I am sitting in a chair, and Soma shows me a board with the whole alphabet on it. And look at my smile when I see it. The letter board with the smaller holes is harder to use, but I'm smiling because I get it now. All the words I have been hearing all my life are made up of these letters, and the words I have been hearing are the same things as the words I have seen printed, which are the same things as the words I can now make myself by sticking the pencil into the holes.
Non-speakers are gaining their rights as a result of decades of activism in the civil rights and disability rights movements. With our work, we stand on the shoulders of giants like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Helen Keller, and Judy Hewlett. Judy was my cherished friend and mentor. Judy was known as the mother of disability rights for her 5 decades of leadership. Sadly, she passed away unexpectedly in March 2023. Judy's advocacy is central to the award-winning documentary, Crip Camp. I will miss her warm smile on our Sunday night Zoom calls, and I will do my best to carry on our work for communication equality. The blind have Braille and the deaf have sign language. Now is the time for non-speakers to have typing. I see how non-speakers suffer needlessly in silence. Communication is a basic human right. The world needs to change the way it sees non-speaking autism. It is a neuromotor disorder, not a cognitive one. In the US, non-speaking students are still routinely denied effective communication. Families are forced to spend years in litigation for their children to gain access to a keyboard or letterboard. Sometimes, the discrimination and attacks on us go even farther. Personally, I have struggled my whole life with not being heard or accepted. A story on the front page of our local newspaper reported how the principal at my high school told a staff member, "The retard can't be valedictorian." communication for all, justice for all non-speakers. We are building a grassroots coalition of typers and allies with action and media. Our website has extensive free resources for families and professionals. Our advocacy work includes keynote addresses at events reaching global audiences, including the 2023 India Inclusion Summit in Bangalore. We are fortunate that established organizations like the Autism Society of America want to work with us to reach families with non-speakers within their 120,000 members. We use the power of film to tell our stories. The documentary, Spellers, premiered at the Phoenix Film Festival and won Best Documentary. You can watch Spellers on YouTube. It has created a tidal wave of new typers. Here is the trailer.
Yeah, what if they should all about every single one? What if they're all walking around?
One of the lucky few non-speaking audiences who have been taught to type. That one critical intervention unlocked my mind from its silent cage, enabling me to communicate and to be educated. Karen from the Spellers movie shares how typing transformed their family.
Autism can take good. It's really scary. And everything is different when a child is everything is different. And I just sometimes shudder to imagine where we can be as a family, where I can be a person and she, if we had a lot of that the children and encourage us to give this a try. I asked Jamie that one at the end of the day. He said, what do you say in life? He understands the gravity or the gift or selflessness in him. And I would say that he didn't just say Jamie's life, what do you say in our family?
Our grassroots movement is building a strong and dedicated coalition to make communication for all a reality. Please join us. The research supporting our movement is summarized in this online report from United for Communication Choice, with more than 100 pages of abstracts of peer-reviewed research. One example is this pioneering eye tracking study from the University of Virginia and published in Nature in 2020, measured the speed, accuracy, timing, and visual fixation patterns of non-speakers as they pointed to letters they first select with their eyes. The study showed agency and authenticity in typer communication. Our movement for communication equality is at a tipping point. Typers are leading the revolution in communication and education. Our numbers are growing rapidly, fueled by parents presuming competence and taking the matter into their own hands. Communication transforms a non-speaker's life from hopeless to hopeful. At the beginning of this talk, I said typing saved my friend's life. Caden learned to type when he was 20 years old. He was featured in the Spellers movie at 21 and diagnosed with cancer throughout his body at 22. His doctors confirmed that typing saved his life because he told them about pain that only he could know. Today, Caden is cancer-free and a communication for all board member working for our mission. Communication saves bodies, minds, and spirits. That is why we are passionate that every non-speaker be given the opportunity to learn how to type. If you know someone who cannot use speech to communicate their thoughts and feelings with you, please go to our website and try C4A Academy. Just like Caden and all of these typers, your non-speaker can have a voice.
Thank you. I will request Dr. Chirakumar Upadhyay sir to conclude the session.
Give a big round of applause to her. The video is very well. Look at the example. See ability beyond disability. उनका एक ही मोटो था. This is my voice. This is my right. And this is my rules and abilities. That's why, man, really, Elizabeth, really, congratulations and welcome to India. Yes. हम सभी जानते हैं कि एट द मोमेंट ऑटिज्म बच्चों का इतना रेशियो है जो स्क्रीन टाइम के बिहाफ होता है, डाइट प्लान भी वो मेंटेन नहीं करते और फैमिली भी कंपटीशन के अंदर और एक दूसरे का सोच के पेरेंट्स टाइम नहीं देते. दैट्स व्हाई ऑटिज्म बच्चों का भी रेशियो है. स्कूल एडमिशन लेते हैं वो नदर पार्ट है. मैंने उनका वेबसाइट भी देखा था, तो आप जो ये वीडियो देखा है तो वो भी बिहाफ वो वेबसाइट के अंदर है ही, कम्युनिकेशन फॉर ऑल के अंदर. हम अवेयर तो है कि वी आर वर्किंग विद ऑल इंटेलेक्चुअल डेवलपमेंट डिसेबल बच्चों के साथ. उनके साथ हम ये करते हैं कि उनकी लेवल देखते हैं, उसकी स्किल, उसका प्रॉब्लम्स. बट ये इन्होंने क्या देखा, फाइन डॉक्टर्स ने भी ना बोला था, स्कूल वालों भी ना बोला था कि कुछ नहीं कर पाएगी. दैट्स व्हाई हियर. सो एक पॉजिटिव वे पे काम करेंगे. तो हमने भी ऐसा काम किया है कि ऑटिज्म बच्चों को जो स्कूल में नहीं डालते उसके रिगार्डिंग हमने 44 बच्चों को गुजरात के गांधीनगर के अंदर हमने मेन स्विमिंग किया है. स्कूल पे कोई स्कूल एडमिशन नहीं देती थी. दैट टाइम हमने प्लान बनाया. आप सभी जानते हैं क्योंकि हम एक ही साथ में काम करते हैं. उनका इंडिविजुअल एजुकेशन प्लान, गो फॉर देयर एक्टिविटी, डाइट प्लान, फुल वीडियोस, पेरेंट्स का अवेयरनेस सभी चला है. तो 44 बच्चों को हमने स्कूल में डाला है. दूसरा ये भी है, इन्होंने ये बात भी अंदर बहुत बढ़िया तरीके बताई कि इन्होंने बताया कि नॉन वर्बल ऑटिज्म बच्चों में एक प्रॉब्लम तो रहेगा. उसमें क्या चाहिए, एक्स्ट्रा केयर, एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट और एबिलिटी भी चाहिए कि वो सिटिंग कर पाए एटलीस्ट 30 मिनट या 40 मिनट. तो पेरेंट्स ने इस पे काम किया है. तो एटलीस्ट देखिए सुबह मॉर्निंग से लेके शाम तक वो बैठी है. तो मस्ट बी रिक्वायर्ड सिटिंग होना चाहिए. दूसरा ये है कि को लेके जाएंगे, एप्रोप्रिएट थेरेपी भी आपको मिलेगी. कोई थेरेपिस्ट इतने इंडिया और ओवर द वर्ल्ड में है, लेकिन गिव देम एनर्जी चैनलाइज एक्टिविटी फॉर लाइक दैट कम्युनिकेशन स्टेंसिल. उन्होंने स्टेंसिल डेवलप किया है जो 26 एबी जो अल्फाबेट है वो वन टाइप ऑफ स्टेंसिल से हम टीचिंग लर्निंग मटेरियल यूज करते हैं हमारे वहां. वो टीचिंग उसका यूज इन्होंने राइट वे पे किया है कि उसका वो प्लान बनाते हैं, उसमें राइट डाउन करते हैं और बाद में वो अप्लाई करते हैं. सो मैम को ये बताया कि वी कैन नॉट, इन्होंने मेरे को जीनियस काम नहीं किया, लेकिन एटलीस्ट तो इन्होंने एक तो किया है कि पॉजिटिव पोटेंशियल है, कर सकते हैं. और बाद में कोई भी बच्चा गुजरात, इंडिया कहीं पे तो भी हम कर सकते हैं. ये भी हम कहना चाहेंगे कि मैडम हमने भी एएसी मेथड का ऑनलाइन चेक किया है. तो ऑगमेंटेटिव जो आर्टिकुलेशन का लीडर होता है, जो बच्चे लेवल के थ्रू पढ़ सकते हैं, तो एएसी मेथड में एप्स है. आईमीन भी है जो मैम डाउनलोड किया है. आईमीन का एप स्टोर में एप्पल में है और आवाज करके इंडिया में है जो एएसी का एप्स है. उसमें आप कोई बच्चा सीखे नहीं, उसको एबीसीडी नहीं आता हो तो स्टार्ट है फीलिंग के साथ है, लेवल के थ्रू है, तो वो भी हम डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. दूसरा इन्होंने ये बताया जो मैंने इसमें लिखा है क्योंकि सभी हिंदी स्पीकर यहाँ पे है. भैया सभी ऑटिज्म बच्चों में सभी देखते हैं उसका लेवल तो है ही, लेकिन उन्होंने क्या कॉग्निशन लेवल, फिजिकल लेवल, मोटर स्किल, क्योंकि सभी ऑटिज्म बच्चों में डिस्प्लेसिया होता है जो मोटर मूवमेंट ज्यादा काम नहीं करता. तो उन्होंने राइट वे पे ये काम किया है कि कॉग्निशन लेवल, फिजिकल लेवल, स्पीच लेवल एंड आल्सो सोशल एंड इमोशनल लेवल. तो उनके साथ उन्होंने राइट वे पे काम किया है. तो आपने एग्जांपल भी देखा वीडियो में, तो ये पॉइंट भी उन्होंने अंदर बताया था. और उन्होंने मैम ने रोलिंग्स कॉलेज से डिग्री भी प्राप्त की है. 4 मिलियन ऐसे बच्चे हैं नॉन वर्बल ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड में. इन्होंने भी बताया, हम भी देखते हैं.
हमारे वहां बच्चे आते हैं तो पेरेंट्स ऐसा बोलते हैं कब बोलेगा, कब बोलेगा, कब बच्चा बोलेगा। लेकिन ये भी है ना कि कई कई एस्पेक्ट अंदर से भी होते हैं, जो न्यूरो कंडीशन से भी रिफर करते हैं, तो बोले नहीं, लेकिन दिस इज द राइट वे टू कम्युनिकेट। एजुकेशन भी देना है, कम्युनिकेशन करना है, तो रिसिप्टिव लैंग्वेज हो, शायद एक्सेप्टिव लैंग्वेज ना हो, तो डजंट मैटर। दिस इज द एग्जांपल फॉर इंटेलिजेंस में। ये भी उन्होंने बताया कि इंटेलिजेंस के थ्रू हम इन्होंने ये भी बताया कि डॉक्टर्स ने भी ना बोला था, पेरेंट्स तो बेचारे फियर भी होता है कि कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे, स्कूल वालों ने भी ना बोला था, लेकिन देखिए 22 में इन्होंने डिग्री प्राप्त की है। तो हमारा गोल ये भी है कि इनके बिहाफ से मैम वी आर रियली थैंक्स टू यू फॉर गिविंग सच काइंड ऑफ रियली इंफॉर्मेशन। पर ये भी है कि कम्युनिकेशन फॉर ऑल भी इतना बढ़िया काम करती है, और हमारे केरला ये भी है, केरला भी करता है, जो कोलकाता है तो इतनी ओटिज्म सोसाइटी है, तो डेफिनेटली हम भी आगे बढ़ेंगे मैम आपके साथ के नॉलेज के साथ। और लास्ट हम ये भी कहना चाहेंगे मैम, we cannot make a genius but we can try to make his or her positive potential। तो मेरी भी ये जिम्मेदारी है कि मैं वहां पे काम करूंगा, तो डेफिनेटली मेरे बच्चों में पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड लाऊंगा। थैंक्स मैम।
Any questions are there that Elizabeth would like to respond to them through the typing? Live जो है जैसे वो करते हैं वो she's just going to write. So audience question. Any questions? इस सेशन के लिए कोई questions है आपके पास? She herself will respond that, तो आपको पता चलेगा उन्हें कि कैसे वो respond करते हैं। Yes, yeah, Mike DJ. So audience is asking the question. Yeah, he is asking that you have mentioned on YouTube channel. So which is that YouTube channel?
I think I'll answer that just quickly. So our website and our YouTube channel, very similar. It's communication for all org for the YouTube channel. Is that right, Gail? Yeah. So the YouTube channel, if you just Google on YouTube, communication for all, you should find it. And again, all of the videos that teach you how to do this typing are on our website. And then they play on YouTube, so you can get them through our website.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Sometimes we see some the verbal articulations of autistic person, even neurotypical persons may have some space of confusion of mind or non-decisiveness of mind. But when I have seen my son also non-speaking typist, so when they type and since the typing is a painstaking job, and they get enough time to express his mind. So typing has lesser space of mental confusion. What is your comment on that?
perhaps somebody can translate that into Hindi. I can't.
या कितना अच्छी बात उन्होंने लिखी है। आपका क्वेश्चन था कि टाइपिंग के अंदर में हम लोग कैसे इसको कर सकते हैं। तो ने जो है किया है कि टाइपिंग जो है हमारी थॉट्स को, हमारे विचारों को जो है आवाज देता है। अगर हम लोग नॉन स्पीकिंग है तो हम लोग जो टाइप से, रिटन टेक्स्ट से हम लोग अपने विचारों को अभिव्यक्त कर सकते हैं। जो हमारे मुंह से जो शब्द निकलते हैं वो जरूरी नहीं है कि हमारी थॉट्स हो, मतलब मुंह से शब्द निकलते हैं जो अपने अपने माइंड के अंदर में, सबकॉन्शियस अनकॉन्शियस माइंड और सब हम लोग बात करते ही हैं। तो टाइपिंग से जो है फिर वो कॉन्शियसली उसको लिखते हैं, तो जरूरी नहीं है कि जो लिखा है वही थॉट्स हो, लेकिन जो एक्चुअल हमारे थॉट्स है, असली में जो हमारे विचार है मन के अंदर में, वो हम लोग रिटन टेक्स्ट या टाइपिंग के माध्यम से अपनी बात को निकाल सकते हैं। तो टाइपिंग इज अ वेरी इफेक्टिव टूल एंड राइट टूल फॉर expressing our thoughts. Yeah, next question please.
Good evening, Elizabeth. My question to you is, how do you feel when people think you don't understand to them?
आपको कैसा लगता है कि जब लोग आपको समझ नहीं पाते हैं, आपको लगता है? तो उन्होंने जवाब दिया कि बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग लगता है। ऑफकोर्स सभी को लगता है कि हमें लगता है कि सामने वाला हमारी बात को नहीं समझ पा रहा है, तो बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग लगता है। और जो सबसे बड़ा गिफ्ट, सबसे बड़ा उपहार हम लोग दे सकते हैं नॉन डिसेबल पर्सन जो है, पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटीज को, नॉन स्पीकर्स को दे सकते हैं एक एश्योरेंस कि हम आपकी बात को समझ रहे हैं। ये एक एश्योरेंस, ये एक विश्वास जो दिलाना सामने वाले को कि हाँ हम आपकी बात को सुन रहे हैं और समझ पा रहे हैं, ये उनके लिए बड़ा एक एश्योरिंग होता है। ये बड़ा कंफर्ट उनको देता है, आत्मविश्वास को बढ़ाता है। और अगर हम लोग नहीं समझ पाते हैं तो एक फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग होता है। तो सबके आपके हमारे लिए होते हुए वही बात होती है।
One question that families often ask us is, do you have to teach them how to read before teaching them how to type? And what we have found is if a child is 5 years old or older, and Elizabeth always likes to emphasize that it's never too late to teach a non-speaker to type. We have people we have taught who are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s to type. And so the answer to the question is no. In general, we find that they know how to read. That from you as parents, reading with them, reading the books, and what I used to do with Elizabeth is just put my hands under the words as I was reading them. And also today, if you put on the closed captioning on the television, they learn how to read. They're very bright. So you don't have to do that before you can look at our videos and start teaching them.
Good evening, Elizabeth, madam. Wonderful to know about your venture in this particular field. My question is, my son is able to type, but he is not able to make a word. One step ahead, what we can do, how we go.
बिल्कुल एक ही क्वेश्चन था आपका सर, नहीं सर था कि जो है टाइपिंग तो आती है बेटे को, लेकिन क्या लिख रहे हैं, वर्ड्स कैसे लिख रहे हैं वो नहीं समझ पा रहे हैं। तो उनका जवाब उन्होंने दिया है कि पर्पसफुल टाइपिंग जो है, रीडिंग या रोड टाइपिंग, जो रोड लर्निंग कैरेक्टर जो बोलते हैं, कुछ भी बोलते हैं, उससे डिफरेंट है। आपको डिफरेंट है और यूजफुल भी है। पर्पसफुल टाइपिंग जो अपन लिख रहे हैं, टाइप कर रहे हैं, उसका उद्देश्य क्या है, मीनिंग क्या है उसका, और वो हमारे विचारों को अभिव्यक्त कर पा रही है क्या, ये बहुत जरूरी है। तो वो स्टार्ट विद द स्टेंसेस, जो स्टेंसेस उन्होंने दिखाए थे कि स्टेंसेस के अंदर में हम लोग जो ब्लॉक्स होते हैं और पेंसिल से उसको घुमाते हैं और लिखते हैं, तो पहले पेपर के ऊपर में लेके स्टेंसेस से यूज कर सकते हैं और बाद में उसको जो है टाइपिंग के अंदर लेके जा सकते हैं। तो धीरे धीरे ये स्किल्स बढ़ाई जा सकती है, पर्पसफुल टाइपिंग हो सकती है, बच्चों को सिखाई जा सकती है।
Yes. Good afternoon, Jenny and Elizabeth, both of you. Uh, I have just one specific question to ask Elizabeth. That is, Elizabeth, dear Elizabeth, have you read Tito Rajarshi Mukhopadhyay? Yeah. If you have, what is your impression of of how he, expresses the angst of a non-speaking autistic individual? And the second thing, the second question, this is not to Elizabeth but to Jenny, because you were standing there and you have stood there by her side right from the beginning of her coming to this world. So my question to you is, how important is the role of a parent in shaping this process of communication for the autistic child? And the third thing is, could we have Elizabeth's email ID, please, if she could type it out here? Email ID. Yeah.
बात इसलिए उन्होंने सभी से बात रखेंगे, सहमति बताते हैं हम लोग। कम्युनिकेशन इज अ बेसिक ह्यूमन राइट्स है। संवाद या संप्रेषण जो है उसके कई तरीके होते हैं, जेस्चर्स भी होते हैं, रिटन भी होता है, टाइपिंग बड़ा तरीका उन्होंने बताया है। ये बेसिक अपना मानवाधिकार है। कम्युनिकेशन के साथ में ही हम लोग एजुकेटेड भी हो सकते हैं, शिक्षा भी ग्रहण कर सकते हैं, प्रोडक्टिव लाइफ भी जी सकते हैं, और लाइफ जो है होपलेस से होपफुल के अंदर में। होपलेस मतलब अगर हम लोग बात ही नहीं कर पाएंगे, अपनी बात को नहीं कह पाएंगे, सामने वाले की बात नहीं समझ पाएंगे, उससे जो है कम्युनिकेशन होने से होपफुल हो जाती है। तो दैट कैन बी प्रोडक्टिव लाइफ, एंड दैट इज वन ऑफ द मीन्स ऑफ द कम्युनिकेशन, द टाइपिंग जो उन्होंने बताया है। So that is her email ID also. So once again, we will say that a huge round of applause to Elizabeth and Judy Hamada to join us. Wonderful session. Yeah.
I just want to answer that last question to say that parents are the most important thing to empower their children, and that's why we're here. We did bring with us 12 of these stencil sets. And again, we'll bring more tomorrow. And we want everyone to be able to have them. Again, we don't sell anything, we give everything away. So if any parent thinks they want to try this, if you're the first 12, you can have one of our stencil sets to go and try it tomorrow.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So nice of you. Thank you all. You come all the way and express so generously with you. Thanks a lot. Parivar is in Android. Parivar NCQ and Parivar Bengal team and all the parents here together. We are very highly appreciative of you.